guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you are all okay. If you're new here, my name is Hebe and I am a PT and fitness coach from the UK. I did a little video the other day about body recomp, so trying to lose weight and build muscle like simultaneously, how it's possible, if it's possible, and if, depending on your experience, exactly how you can do so. Now, I thought that I would go through another little more informative video instead of my fun casual videos instead. And today I'm going to go through 3 things that I believed fully changed my body. Now, I could say there are 3 things that I wish I knew before I started, but yes, I just wanted to go through 3 really important tips and 3 really small things that you can implement into your lifestyle to adhere or help you adhere to your diet, your fitness, and essentially your like weight loss or weight gain journey. So first of all, before I get into anything, if you haven't already, I would be truly grateful if you could click the little subscribe button to my channel and the little notification button, just so that you don't miss out on any of the videos I upload. I would be so super grateful. But yes, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first thing, this little top is releasing tomorrow, which is so cute, which actually by the time this video comes out, it will already have been released, but it is the new Vital Seamless from Gymshark in the pink, which is so cute. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I think is super important, and one thing that I completely think has changed a lot of people's lives, is implementing some kind of step goal. Now, implementing a step goal is really important for keeping that activity level up, and it's really good for those people who struggle to get activity in. So people who are sat at a desk very often, people who are potentially students, people that don't really move around that much on a day-to-day basis. Adding in some kind of step goal or something to reach is really good to keep the activity levels up. Now, NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT, what this basically is the activity and the calories that you burn through activity that isn't exercise, i.e. going for a walk, washing your hands, moving like this on the camera, washing up, anything like that. Anything that you do which is via movement. NEAT is the calories that you burn through non-exercise activity, okay? So that is why a lot of people will implement a step goal. It's super important to remember that calories in versus calories out, and a step goal is really good when you are focusing on weight loss. Another reason that it is great to have a higher step goal, and something that I use quite often in my clients, is I would rather increase their activity than decrease their calories. So it's super important that if you're someone who really does enjoy their food and you don't want to lower your calories too much, then potentially looking at increasing the activity will be the best way forward for you. I'm telling you now, adding and implementing a step goal will be so super beneficial to you, you would not even imagine. Even just implementing an extra 2,000 steps a day, you will see a huge shift in obviously your activity levels, but hopefully if you are in a plateau at the moment, adding some steps in will really help. Not only that, getting steps in outside is so good for your mental health. It's really nice to get some activity out there. Walking is a very low impact activity, so it gives your CNS that time to rest, but also it's just really enjoyable. It should be time that you take for yourself and just getting some activity in. It's really nice to do it first thing in the morning. Me and Matt manage to do it all the time in the morning at the moment, and we absolutely love it, other than this morning because I forgot to put my alarm on. But yeah, it's so great to add into your daily lifestyle. Mentally and physically, I would say it's super important to set yourself a step goal. Nothing too crazy, see what works for you, and then you can change it as the time comes. The second thing that has completely changed my life was tracking my calories. Now, there's lots of different ways you can approach scenarios. So you can intuitively eat, which is really great, and that's something that I utilized for a very long time. So I just made better choices. I was eating better foods, I was choosing better foods, and for a very long time time it was really beneficial and really helped me, until I got to a certain point where I started to plateau. So I started to not see any physical changes in my body, and my weight stayed very similar, but I don't tend to focus too heavily on the scales, but physically I felt as if nothing was kind of moving after a while. And that is when I started implementing calorie counting and tracking my calories. Now, I understand that a lot of people, or for some people, tracking calories is just not suitable for them. It's not a healthy approach, and that is completely fine and very understandable, but I'm just talking about my experience and what really helped me. And I think one thing that is really beneficial from tracking calories is it really does give you that flexibility. So the flexibility to potentially eat the foods that you love within moderation and fitting them into your diet. And I think that's something that's really important for us to remember, is tracking calories actually gives us the freedom to do so, the freedom to allow us to eat the foods we like whilst still achieving the goals that we are working really hard to get. So really remember that tracking calories does not need to be a negative cycle. Restriction and binging, so the kind of binge and restrict cycle, is something that can really put a very frowned effect on calorie counting, and I completely understand why. But people who include the nice foods, so include the treats that they like on a day-to-day basis, include the takeouts every now and then, include the takeouts potentially even in their daily calorie allowance, these are the people that will make better results, because they are not restricting themselves and potentially then allowing themselves to overeat on a different occasion. Now, this is something that is very common and something that a lot of people can get out of, and I will definitely do a video on how to really help and avoid a binge and restrict mentality. But it is very common, and it's something that you do not want to be worried about. So if anyone has any questions about that, just let me know, but I will do a full video on it at some point in the future. But tracking calories is so great, and it worked for me. It might not work for you guys, but it's something that worked really well for me, and something that I really do enjoy doing, and finding foods and finding things that I can fit into my day while still achieving my goals. Finally, number 3, and something that I really cannot believe I didn't do before, was taking sufficient rest. Now, resting is probably just as important as the exercise. Sleeping and resting is just crucial in so many different ways. So for example, sleep, if we don't get enough sleep, one thing that is really big is we do release more of the hormone ghrelin, which makes us hungry. So that hormone will make us feel hungry, which will make us overeat, or more likely to overeat the next day after a bad night's sleep, or potentially the next day after a night out. That's why in the mornings after a night out, you tend to be a little bit more hungry than usual. I am anyway. I always want something really rubbish to eat in the morning. So that is one thing. Just it will help us on our food cycle a little bit better. But secondly, it is super important for the repair of our muscles. So when we're focusing on muscle building, what our muscles do essentially is they tear and then we repair them. They tear and then we repair them, and that is essentially how muscle growth works. Wish it was that fast, it's definitely not. But the repair of the muscles is so important, so taking that time out is crucial. I think it's really important to remember that a standard kind of workout phase or a standard workout split is anything between 3 to 5 workouts per week, potentially 6 if you find that that's something you want to do. Of course, by all means, 6 is not the end of the world, but taking 1 or 2 sufficient rest days is really important. I think that people forget, and sometimes you actually see more benefit of sufficiently resting and sufficiently taking the time out to rest your mind, your body, your central nervous system, everything. It's super important to take the right amount of rest and sleep. Now, these are just 3 top things that I think is so important to implement into your daily life, especially whether your goal is weight loss or weight gain. It's completely up to you. All of these things are super important for both goals regardless. And I just wanted to make a little video on that, because I know, especially for my clients, sometimes people forget the importance of the ins and outs of everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll speak to you all again very soon. See you later, guys. Bye.